guys, welcome to Karbach. My name is Daniel Smith. I work with the marketing department here. We're gonna go on a tour of the brewery and check it out, and then Chris Juergen's gonna tell you all about some of the beers, so come along. Alright guys, so first things first, a little history about beer. So back in 1516 in Germany, they created something called the Reinheitsgebot. This is the German purity law. It stipulates that all beer must be comprised of 4 primary ingredients. We have malt, water, hops, and yeast. So malt's going to give you the majority of the body and the color in your beer. So water is the second ingredient. Obviously, I don't have any on display, but you can use your imagination what water looks like. Now, water chemistry is extremely important for beer. We can take all of our ingredients and go to a totally different state, try to brew the exact same recipe, it would come out totally different. So third, we have hops. Hops are a lot like grapes, actually, that are used for wine. So the region in which they're grown determines their flavor. Last but not least is, of course, the yeast. Malt, water, and hops combine to form something called wort, W-O-R-T. But it's not beer until the yeast take effect, consuming all that sugar and turning that wort into delicious beer. Alrighty, welcome to the Karbach Brew House. This is a 120 barrel system in here. If that's not familiar to you, one full-size keg is half a barrel. So I basically brew 240 kegs at a time, or 39,600 cans of beer per batch. Now we brew 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. We do about 5 to 6 batches in a day. So that's a whole lot of beer coming out of this very room. So this is cellar 2. Now when the wort is transferred after it's gone through the heat exchanger, it's going to be pumped into one of the fermentation vessels behind us. Now each one of these is 120 barrels in size. So one batch of beer fills up one fermenter. Now most of your beer is going to be either ale or lager. That's the type of yeast used to brew it. Ale yeast is a top fermenting yeast, which means it hangs out in the upper part of the tank. It enjoys a warmer temperature and therefore it ferments a little bit more quickly, about 2 to 4 weeks. Lager yeast, however, is a bottom fermenting yeast, so it'll hang out in the lower part of the tank. It enjoys a lower temperature and therefore it takes a little bit longer to ferment, about 4 to 6 weeks. Alrighty, welcome to the barrel room. So this is where we keep all of our wood barrels for our barrel-aged beers here at Karbach. Now we have 2 different barrel aging programs here actually. We have BBH and we have the Fun series. So I use BBH as an example. We make an Imperial Porter called Hellfighter. Comes out of fermentation at about 9.8% ABV. It's already pretty boozy beer, but naturally we want more. So what we do here is we take an empty bourbon barrel. There can be up to 10 gallons of bourbon soaked into the pores of the wood of an empty bourbon barrel. So what we'll do is we'll take that Hellfighter, pump it into one of these bourbon barrels and let it age in this room for 6 to 8 months. Due to the temperature and the insulation in this room, the wood's gonna naturally contract and expand over that time period, breathing in the beer, soaking out some of that bourbon into the beer itself. It imparts the nice oak notes from the wood, but most importantly for a lot of our consumers, it goes from 9.8% all the way up to about 11.8% alcohol by volume. Alright, so this is the pack all. After the beer comes out of the bright tanks, this is where it's going to hit the can or the keg. Now unfortunately, all the cans you see behind me are empty. They are waiting to be filled with delicious beer. But the way this process goes down is we have a depalletizer right behind me. Takes all those cans, takes one row at a time and puts it onto the canning line. Basically a large conveyor belt. You can go up to 420 cans per minute at full speed. And they go through to our helix, which automatically stacks them up and wraps them with plastic before they're being stored in our 15,000 square foot cooler, where they can condition for a few more days before they're shipped out into the wild. Alrighty guys, thanks for tagging along with me on the tour today. Now I'm going to throw it over to our head brewer, Chris Juergen, and he's going to tell you all about some of our beers.
Howdy, I'm Chris Juergen, the head brewer and brewmaster at Karbach Brewing Company. We're going to spend a little time today talking about some of our beers we have to offer, as well as our brewery and how we go through the process of making our fine beers. This is Love Street. It's our German-style Kolsch blonde beer with roots from the Cologne area of Germany. This beer is a lighter-bodied beer with some great German noble hop character. It drinks with a little honey and lemongrass and citrus notes. Great hop floral character. All right, this beer is Crawford Bock, and this is a great partnership we have with the Houston Astros. Proceeds from every case go to the Houston Astros Foundation, their charity program here in Houston that helps kids. We love this beer. We wanted to design something that went great with hot dogs and peanuts at the ballpark. It's easy to drink. It's the American box style nice maltiness, a little bit of fruity notes coming out. All right, so this is Light Circus. It's our hazy IPA. So this guy is going to be nice and hazy, a lot of velvet, silky mouthfeel that comes in from the oats and wheat that we brew with. Tons of tropical and citrus notes that come from the hops, all Citra and Mosaic hops. It's low bitterness, so it's different from a traditional IPA. It's all bittered on the back end. Tons and tons of dry hop to just really highlight the hop. All right, this is our Blood Orange Radler. It's the second Radler in our series. A Radler is a traditional German drink that's a blend of beer and soda. So our Radlers, we custom make sodas here at the brewery. This one is orange juice and some citrus, again with some sugar, and then we combine that with a blonde beer to make Radler. All right, the next beer we have is our Weekend Warrior. This is an American Pale Ale. If you're at the brewery, and it's about 5 o'clock when the brewers are coming off shift, this is our beer of choice. We call this the brewer's beer. This is what we like to drink after a hard day of sweating in the brewery. Lighter body, still some caramel body that comes through. Again, generously hopped, some upfront bitterness, not at the IPA level, but enough to get you there, so you know it's there. Again, a nice lingering hop nose, lots of citrus, pine and dank earthy notes that come out on this guy. Thanks for your time and letting us talk about our beers. Come visit us in Houston, Texas anytime. We're open 7 days a week. Or come visit the Brass Hall in Marble Falls where our beers are on special for the entire month of July.